Hello, I'm Jeff Varney, Director of Advisory Services and Process and Performance Management Practice Lead at APQC. I want to talk a few minutes today about end-to-end processes. What are they and why are they important in any organization? So let's jump right in. An end-to-end process in its simplest view is any process or flow of work that is actually handing off between one or another group. It can be between teams, functions, product groups, individuals even. But an end-to-end is built around that concept of managing the handoffs, understanding, measuring, and managing the handoffs. Because if we think about the handoff, that's where the greatest opportunity for errors, omissions, missed communications, inefficiency, or ineffectiveness can flow into our processes. The analogy of a relay race at the Olympics is a great way to think about it. In a relay race, you have people running each leg, carrying a baton and handing it to the next runner. If they drop the baton at that handoff, game over. But if they flub the baton, they may still have a chance, but they've lost critical opportunity against their competitors, and they have to now try to make that up. And in our businesses, those handoffs, if we drop the baton or we flub the baton, we lose continuity. So we want to focus on those and drive the outcomes through effective awareness and understanding, design, improve, and manage our handoffs. So before we get into the specifics, I want to take a moment to say, well, what do we think in our organizations around the types of end-to-end processes? And it turns out they go by different names. For instance, you may hear about cross-functional, you may hear about value stream or value chain. They're all end-to-end processes. There also are very low-level processes going on, right? Where people are actually just handing off work, whether it's a go-to-market around a new product, where the product team, the sales team, and the customer support team have to be in sequence to make sure that that launch is effective and the outcome is achieved. You may not think of that as an end-to-end, but it truly is. Anywhere those handoffs are occurring, we want to now think about end-to-end principles. So looking inside, how do we do that? Well, the first is we have to understand each of the pieces of that end-to-end. Who does it? How do they do it? And what is the handoff? Is the handoff sequential, like in a relay race, or are there maybe multiple teams working on parts of it and they now need to align and integrate to a handoff to another group? That's critical there to understand and get the handoffs as smooth and appropriate as possible. We can also look at what's happening inside of each of those activities within the end-to-end. What is their resource utilization, the labor, the timing, the waste that might be introduced in the way that that process is designed? And while we can go and try to optimize or fix each piece of an end-to-end, what we find is that sometimes when we change one piece, it breaks the continuity or even the handoff, and we can't let that creep in. So the goal is to be able to look at these integrated sets of work and now look at the opportunities for improvement to drive higher performance, efficiency, effectiveness, quality. And we want to now look at that, balance it, and select and focus on the right improvements and ensure that those improvements scan to more strategic outcomes and value delivery that our customers and our stakeholders expect. So the concept of end-to-end is critically important to get control of outcomes, to understand how we work more effectively together, how we balance and optimize use of resources, and it gets us to a stronger, more effective place. End-to-ends are critically important. They exist in every organization. So what are you going to do and where are you going to attack this concept of end-to-end?